Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel Ladyfloflo and the podcast Beginners Competitors Corner. Today, we're very excited. I have Luchida Michel back with us, the pro athlete. Hey, Luchida.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us again. So I'm a beginner competitor and Luchida is a pro. And we decided to team up today and give you guys a little series of few little topics that we thought that would be very interested for you. So this podcast is really for people who are rookies like me, beginners. And if you have lots of questions, we are here for you. So today we are going to talk about hair. Yes, especially for our ladies who have a special type of texture. Okay, so even if you're not a person of brown color, this could be very informative to you to understand and learn and appreciate the challenges that people who look different than you may have. So let's jump right into it, Luchida. Let's talk about natural hair in competition. Ooh, can we do this?
Topic.
Can we have natural hair in competition?
Well, first of all, to answer your question, I will start by giving you a little bit of my experience, as I've done up to 14 competitions so far since 2013. The first competition I did, if you remember, I told you I wanted to be as natural as possible.
Right.
So when I did my first natural show, I did wear my natural hair. I only fixed it properly for day show.
Like a fro, you mean? Like when you say natural hair?
No, I actually straightened my hair with blow drying, basically.
Oh, okay. Oh, so maybe we should define what is natural hair, because there's two things, right? There's like natural hair.
I have natural nappy hair. So the nappy hair is like, if you want to have a good image of what it looks like, imagine an afro. That's the actual texture. And when we go from one individual to another, depending on the type of curls they have, the tightest the curl is, the more compound the afro will look. I have the most curly type, which is 4C. So when I have my hair natural, basically my curls are so tight that only when I wet my hair or where I straighten it, you can see the full length. So it could go like this when it's relaxed, but as I have my natural hair in its natural state with the 4C curl, it curls up really short. So my hair straightened could go down to my shoulders, but naturally, without nothing in it, with no manipulation whatsoever, the nappy style, it's just going bouncy higher. So my hair would stop here, let's say, if I just leave it natural.
And so for the first show, you straighten your hair with the iron?
Yes, my hair was really short. So when I straightened my hair, I had a type of haircut that looked a bit like Jamie Lee Curtis. That was my goal, actually. So to bring my hair back, like if I had gel or something, and it just gave me that really like tight pixie haircut. I did win my competition as figure. I also placed third bikini, but I remember the judge told me that physically I looked amazing, but I had to be careful for my appearance for hair, because short hair would not be preferable if I wanted to make it on the top. So from what I understood after that, doing my research and also working with different coaches, is that when it comes to bodybuilding and aesthetic on stage, you want to have a look that is as standard as possible. And the standard right now is the long hair. Long hair, straight hair, a little bit of curl, maybe curls like this too, but it has to be long.
Long, okay, wait, but long, there's different lengths to it. Like, are we talking past shoulders, like mid-back?
Like, well, think about what long hair could do to your physique. So the longer your hair is, it actually brings more length to your face. So when you're lean, it also brings that femininity side too when it comes to bodybuilding. So the longer your hair is, the longer your silhouette will look too, which makes sense. So when you have short hair, the only advantage with short hair is that it really brings out all the features of your face.
So if you're really pretty in the face, it's a good thing. And
Yeah,
let's say
exactly.
you're competing like in physique, right? Where we're not, it's not saying that we do pageant stuff in the other
It's sort of
division.
a pageant competition. When you
Yeah.
think about it, it is sort of a pageant competition because you're not only scored on your physique, there's other elements that are being analyzed and evaluated as your suit, how it fits you, your gait on the stage, your hair, the makeup, etc. So basically, it's a pageant when we come to these criterions. As for my hair, I would say also the fact that you have long hair, like I was saying earlier, it does bring a better silhouette,
Oh.
a more feminine silhouette. And when you have the short hair, that's the only reason I tried again, but every time they would tell me it's better if you have long hair. So if I continue my experience, I did try different style. I was like, okay, can't keep my natural short hair or straighten it. I have to bring length. So I'm going to try different style. So I had twists, I had braids on
Like
stage.
me?
Yes, just
Okay.
like you. Once again, I did manage to place well, but I was always being pushed to go more to a more standard look of straight, long hair.
Straight.
Yeah, straight. Because I remember I had twists, I had braids, like I said, I had curly hair like that, but they always prefer a little bit more the straight hair. But the only thing you have to remember is that no matter the look you take for long hair, it has to be a look that fits you. So it's not necessarily every woman who needs to be having their hair straight when it comes to competition. They can also have the curly if it really fits their figure. So like this, I could easily take the stage with the hair because it's like really long.
Mm-hmm.
And also the longer it is, it all depends the category because
Okay.
for posing, it also have an impact. So the longer your hair is, if you're doing a competition as a figure, femme physique or bodybuilder, you have to remember that yes, it will bring the femininity in your look. But when it comes to posing, you have to be prepared. So you have to practice to use the length of that hair prior to competition. Because when we think about figure athletes, femme physique, bodybuilders, there's a lot of back posing. We want to see that back. So if you want to see that back, you have to be able to have a way to move the hair in order to see that back. So you have to manipulate the hair all the time compared to bikini or wellness, where there's no much necessity to see the back. It's all about the legs, the glutes, the shoulders. So it's easy to have the long hair, no matter the length, as long as you don't cover your glutes, of course, because we want to see the roundedness of those glutes. You have no problem. You can wear your hair long and not worry so much about the posing because you might be playing your hair just a little, but not as much as the other categories.
May I add something? I noticed something, and you're so right, Luchida, when you say about practicing. And I did that little new rookie mistake. I got my hair done just a few weeks ago, and it was a different hair that I was not used to. And then, like, just practicing putting my hair in the back of my neck was a struggle. But one thing that I didn't do, and it cost me a little bit during the show, was that with my suit. And my suit has, I forgot what you call this little crochet stuff. And
yes.
it got caught in it. And I was like, oh. So it kind of like, broke the flow in my presentation. I was like,
See, this is why I say it's important that when you decide of your hairstyle, especially for posing, that you're prepared, because this kind of thing, like you just gave as an example, can happen. And also remember that when you pose on stage and you have to fix your hair, especially to show back poses, it's very important that you're comfortable and you're quick, because it's always about the quicker who's placed first when it comes to posing. When you do a lineup, the
Okay.
judge are going to pay attention to the first women who are posed right away. So if you're still struggling to fix your hair and all the other girls on the line are already placed, they're not going to pay attention to you at the moment or at your best, and you might lose opportunities here to make your physique be noticed.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that, because I, just because you sent me that you shared this information with me, I'm gonna try a few hairstyle with my suit, and I'm gonna try to see which one I struggle the less with like the back pose. Because okay, thank you for that. I didn't know about the quickest you can get into that back pose. It plays to your advantage.
Yes, exactly. Because the more time you take to pose, the less beneficial it is for you when it comes to evaluation.
And can we talk about volume? Because you talked about curly, you talk about straight. And sometimes I watch other commentators about like some shows and they say, oh, the hair is a bit flat. It doesn't complement her body. If she has bigger shoulders, you should have like something that matches, or if you're a little bit heavy on bottom. How can you use your hair to kind of like help complement your body's like little, not to say weakest part, but to help play in that, silhouette that you're trying to create?
Well, this is why I said not all haircuts fits all. So you have to be more personalized about the haircut you decide to take for stage. And you use the keyword I will use right now is volume. Some women don't need that much volume to bring out their silhouette. Some might need more volume to bring out their silhouette differently, but look similar to the other women. So it's very different from one to another. This is why it's important to have someone who's comfortable with posing, because usually posing coach are gonna have the knowledge to look at you as you're practicing and tell you what is best depending on the look you want to go for your hair. Another thing about the volume and the type of hair, straight hair is more popular. The reason being is that when you have it long, you're just going to tap or play a little with the volume depending on the size of your face and the shape of your face.
Okay.
The advantage with straight hair is that it doesn't take too much space on your back or around your shoulder. If I was to do a show with that hair, I'd probably struggle more to show my features properly at all time than someone in the same category having her hair straight. Why? Because if you look at the volume I have right now, I will tell you that it looks nice, but for some category, it might be too much, because if I don't want to have my hair played in all the time as on stage, because you don't want to be doing that all the time when you're on stage. You're focusing on practicing your posing and showcasing yourself. So when there's too much volume, what happens is this: you can have your shoulder blocked so they don't see your shoulders because you're too busy posing, so you don't think about it. So they're not seeing both of your shoulders. But if you had straightened hair flat in your back and your hair is just put back, or you slightly bring one mesh in the front like this, we can still see your shoulders. But with this curly hair, although it's long, I might have more issues showing the whole thing, the whole package, because at some point doing my posing, the hair is not going to go necessarily where I want. So this is why I understand why the hairdo is important, especially in the pro level. They like straight hair because the straight hair brings the femininity, the straight hair along your body silhouette. The straight hair is easily manipulated on stage. It allows you to be able to grab it easily and move your hair around as you're posing. And it's beautiful. If you like curls, If you like curls, it's possible to have straight hair, but to use the curl more like an ocean wave curl at the end or at the 3/4 of the hair length, for example, and have like nice little twists just to bring more like a difference from the straight aligned hair.
Okay, this is great for the majority of people. What about the sisters? Uh, what about braids? What about because I've seen sometimes some discussions on some groups, and natural sometimes mean more than just hair, especially for our community. And sometimes it's like it's a value. It's I don't want to wear the straight hair European standard beauty. I want to wear something that looks more of my culture. I'm okay with braids. I'm okay with rocking full locks. That's what I did in my first show. It's a bit bulky, but I feel like I'm struggling if I want to wear like, I don't know, a wig of straight hair. I'm not sure if, and that will affect my confidence, right? Because I'm not going to feel comfortable. So what do you recommend? What do we do?
I totally get it. I would give you more a suggestion here more than what it is about, because I find that it's a topic that has a lot of loopholes, in the sense that in the standards, judges always mention what they preferred when I went to get the feedback. And when it came to hair, every single time they would always suggest I go for straight hair. I remember when I was getting ready for my second pro show with Team Atlas, in the process of qualification, we went to get some feedback. And I remember one of the judges saying to my former coach, James, that it would be really preferable for me if I wanted to reach that pro level to get my hair straight, because when they looked at my physique, they saw in me a potential competitors to bodybuilders in figure such as Cindy Gillian. So basically, we're looking for a comparison look.
Okay.
Like that. And if you look at Cindy Gillian as figure pro athlete who's doing Olympia, she always have her hair straight. If you look at the top professional athletes in this industry, bikini or whichever competition, it's always long hair for all of them. And depending on the category and what is required to showcase on the stage when it comes to the physique, it's either going to be curly, but not too puffy, and straight. So now when it comes to wanting to rock your own roots, I do believe that there are people in this industry who are competing with their natural hair or the style of their choice just because they feel comfortable in it. And I do salute them, and I have a big respect for these people, because I know that they're challenging the industry when they do that. Unfortunately, as of today, it's not permitting to reach out further when it comes to that style. So my theory and what I would say here is that if you're an advocate of using your hair the way you want when you go on stage, because this is what makes you feel confident, go for it. But if you go for it, be willing to accept that there might be feedbacks that are not favorable. So that's the only advice I would give you, because you never know what competition will allow you to compete and place well with your hair the way you want, because you never know what the judges are looking for or what they really appreciate when it comes to a comparison on stage. So it's a gamble. All I have to say, it's a gamble. If you know Lola Montez,
Yes.
I mentioned her. She's one of these competitors I respect in terms of stage, because every time she did a show, she had braids. She had long braids, but she had braids. They're not too thick. They're not too thin. She had colorful braids sometimes. She would rock the style of her choice. It took a long time before she finally got her pro card. So she finally went to a show a few years back, and she did that first show. That was it. She got her pro card. But it's like one show between I don't know how many available. I've seen this. Because if you look at many of the Black women in the industry, I can name a lot that I look up to and that never went on stage with their natural hair or a different style than straight hair. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, but the good thing, or at least the lessons here, is that it's interesting to see how the topic of hair, like, also how it transfers into competition for Black women. So it's not only, personal, professional lives, but it's also in the platform of competition, and it would always be complex. And I think we could definitely like talk more. So thank you for sharing your insights about that. And I hope our viewers love this topic. And if so, let us know in the comments, like, what are your questions? And I sure have more questions now, and I feel like we could do a part 2. But you know what? We're gonna put an end to